Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Forewarned guide, basic guide, basically how to navigate through the new updated maps. I know there's a lot of players out there that still kind of get confused during the exploration part of the actual piece for the new updated maps and whatnot. So um, I do want to actually make a quick guide just for you guys to kind of see what I kind of go through, what a couple things I pretty much think about as I go through the actual stage and then trying to figure out, okay, so where do I need to go. We're also going to talk about the traps that we do have inside here as well, especially for the new players as well. This one will be for you. There are a couple new objectives that they added when they first added the updated maps and whatnot. So, i.e., the Mummification Room, the actual prison room got changed a little bit. Um, so pretty much as far as finding the exploration, piece, that's where pretty much where it's gonna be at. So every time you see a Find Explorer, it's basically you gotta pretty much unlock the prison or to get the picture. So I haven't really found any other type of explorer, especially the skeleton, comparison to the older map. When you have like about 3 locations where you could get it, but for this one, it's in a prison, usually guarantee. So that one we gotta look for. Then we do have new traps, so we do have like actual spinning spike room that kind of goes left and right. We do have a snake room, which actually gives you more gold, but in the same time, you have to make sure you have the right equipment in order to choose the right path. So we're going to talk about that as well. There's also a couple of bridges that they do have in here. So we do have a falling boulder. So if you're coming across a section where you see a bridge that's kind of leaning towards either the right or left side, whatever it is, usually that's a quick indication that it is a trap bridge room. So usually you always look up, or if you're traveling from the opposite side, you should be able to see it right above the entryway. They also have crushing doors, not doors, but walls. I think there's like about 5 of them, I think. So usually it's really kind of time consuming because a lot of times if you are trying to find a blue lever, let's say if you have a Rathles or you have a Ulfris that's kind of chasing around, or a Deacon, usually if you kind of just go one by one, then usually at the time you're pretty much caught already. So there's actually a good way that you can bypass all of them. There's a way that you can actually bypass 4 out of the 5. So a lot of it's just the timing. You should be able to kind of make it, but in sprint mode. So if you're doing it walking, there's no way you can do it. So if you're facing a Deacon, then yeah, there's no way you can do a sprint if he's actually nearby you because he'll just hear you. Um, so yeah, so basically, we'll just kind of like go in together. We're gonna like kind of see what we got. I'll kind of tell you my POIs, my points of interest, basically, to kind of see like this is how I actually do things, or this is how I think about certain left and right turns and whatnot. So a lot of times when I first played this, the new updated map when it first came out, I think fighting the Relic Door was tough, which it is kind of tough from the beginning, but after that it just got too easy after that. So anyways, guys, like I said, this guide is just for you guys. It's for the ones that just start a game, or you guys are still having a hard time navigating through this new layout maps and whatnot. So yeah, so let's pretty much get into it. Um so basically it's actually good to um if you're still having a hard time, you can actually look at your map before you go in, just to give you a clear understanding what you're kind of going through. A lot of times it's kind of the language I'll be using mostly is outlets, or basically if you think about when you drive your car, that if you go by the traffic sign, the no outlets, basically it's basically a navigational outlet of different streets, but there's only a one way in, one way out in order to get out that outlet. So you'll probably be hearing me talk about outlets all the time, and basically that's basically an easy way for me to kind of remember that. Um, if you go in here, there's a no outlet zone. So basically, there's gonna be numerous rooms all over the place, but you gotta make sure that you look for this one outlet to get out of there, or else you'll be stuck in a continuous loop all the time. So this one's actually kind of decent, actually. It's, well, kind of easy, actually. So we do know there is a outlet area right here that's only gonna go in and out. There is a actual circular area here, and then actually no outlet down here, so it's actually not so bad. We are playing on a medium map, by the way, so it's actually not so bad. For this episode, we're not gonna go for the actual Magi. We're just, like I said, we're just purely going for navigational purposes. So the best way for me that I feel is a really good equipment setup for exploring is, of course, your flashlight, your camera for picture taking, and the Geiger counter. Geiger counter is actually, it's good for the new type layouts, is because when you do come across the snake room, that's the kind of equipment you need in order to figure out what is the best correct section for you to enter and get out of. The metal detector does not find the correct entryway for the snake room, so that's pretty much it works only for the older style maps. So technically the metal detector is basically just there for the metallic evidence. Alright, so basically when you go down the wooden scaffold, of course you do come across just the same way as when you do from the older map. Style is either you go straight, right, left, or back. A lot of times, if you go by the older map, it's usually the right side, right? So what I usually like to do is kind of go straight and then kind of see what, you know, what's there first, and then kind of gradually go to my right. That's kind of like my direction. Anytime you see like a pedestal that's right in the middle, just like this, always think of it as a no outlet section, because every time you see this, it's almost like it tells me that it's basically a no outlet. So basically you go in, you do your exploration, and basically there's nothing else, it's just a dead end. So this is one of the no outlet areas right here. Every time you see this now, just remember that. So now, since we kind of went through this way, just kind of gradually move to your right. Always kind of think about what needs to be cleared up first. So as long as you stay within your direction, you should be fine. This is the wall collapsing room, so there's actually 4. Apologize, I said 5. So basically, if you hug right close to it, you can actually sprint right through it, just like that. So basically, you just hug close to the middle part of the wall, and then just keep pushing forward until it has just enough space for you to just pretty much run right through it, and you can actually go in perfectly. Now, if you're going through this direction, you probably only be able to kind of go through 3 of them because of the timing of the, just like that. So for this direction, you should be able to kind of go all of them. The other way will be up to 3. So a really good thing to kind of know. So since we kind of went straight, then we kind of went to our right turn. So here's a relic door. So basically they kind of blended the relic door really close to this actual layout of the map. So basically the best way to kind of notice is, of course, the spike floor that you remember from the older style maps. And then of course you have your side over here. Best way to kind of remember too, so if you're finished with your exploration, like you already took your pictures, you know, all this other stuff, you know, just leave your camera down here. because you do need to take a picture of the sarcophagus, which sadly you can't take a picture through this door, because what it is, they actually angle the sarcophagus heads head to the opening, and basically your pictures is always the elongated side, so you won't be able to take a picture through this wall anyways. So just always remember, like I said, most times it's always gonna be your right side, but it's actually traveling through the right side. So sometimes they'll throw like a no outlet area at you, and then you just kind of go like a room or two rooms at the most, and you'll find this. So they did kind of move it to a point to kind of confuse you a little bit. All right, so right now we're in the back side. So always remember, scaffold, entrance, left. I mean straight, right. This is the back, and that's the left. So this is another area you will encounter as well. This is another no outlet entrance as well. So if you see the stairs going down and kind of goes up like this, and really there's really nothing to do in here, think of it as a no outlet. So sometimes there'll be levers right here on the actual edge corners, so sometimes when you go in you don't notice it. They actually hide the red levers pretty decently in this new layout, so always kind of look behind you sometimes. So we actually pass right through it. Sometimes you'll find gold, sometimes you don't. Rooms like these would be your treasure rooms. The comparison to the actual older map styles, usually you can kind of get a high percent guess that this could be a treasure room, is because usually there's a lever there. But with the new layout, it's not the case anymore. So a lot of times if you find these rooms with the actual Anks, sorry if I butchered the name, usually there's a high chance that this could be the treasure rooms. So good thing to know about that. These little sections here, just like this, like the connecting rooms to the other room, usually they do hold blue levers. So when you do your hunt for your blue levers, always look every single space, like literally go inside this room and look. Don't just do a quick peek and then it's like, oh, okay, there's nothing there. Always take a quick look around before you leave, because you're just gonna keep wasting more time, you know, just going around in circles, and that's pretty much what's gonna get you stuck. So when you go into a room that pretty much has this is the Mummification Room. So this is where they perform their ritual, you know, when they suck out all, you know, your brain or whatever, your guts or something like that. So just take a picture over here. That'll give you the credit for the objective. But always remember, it's a gray stone altar looking piece, and you can actually see the indentation of the body. So if you do have a mummification objective, this is what it is. So we do have another no outlet area, so you will come across a no outlet, and then it'll just have another no outlet area. So just try your best to kind of remember the sequence. So always remember that the no outlet that we came in from is the one that the stairway that goes down and back up. So that's the best way to kind of try and remember it. So this is the snake room. So the best way to say is there's a snake head here in the entrance, and there's also a king cobra down there. He usually doesn't come out until you actually go in there and take the gold, and then he kind of goes around the map. We'll probably talk about it once we talk about the trap over here. So like I said, the Geiger counter is the best friend for this situation. Always remember, go for something that's under 2. So anything that's around 1 is good. So anything that goes high is bad. So this one is a 2. You don't have to go too far in. Don't step right here because it's going to trigger this poison / acid trap. which there's no way you can dodge that. So always look for something that's less than the 2, but a little bit over than the 1. So these are over 2s, and this is about slightly over 1. So this should be the best correct one. So once you actually go in, just go in and out from the same thing, and you should be good. So what happens? Let's say if you're like, oh crap, you know, I don't have my Geiger counter, but you want to take a chance. Like I said, if you're playing on hard and you get 3 mistakes, you're dead. So, but this is what happens when you do touch it. So what happened is it does a widespread. It shoots like acid or poison, whatever it is, and it shoots it like right here in this cone shape right here area. So so when you come right here, there's no way you can dodge that. So just wanted to kind of give you an example of what happens when you go to the wrong area. So always remember, for the new map layout is always the Geiger counter, flashlight, and camera. So once you actually go in there, he's gone. So he's actually going the whole entire map, and he's fast. Good thing about it is he's not like the aggro type that if he sees you, he'll just chase you. So thank God it's not, because he's actually kind of irritating. The one thing you want to know, do for him is that if you see him start coming up, he's a pathway type person, just like like the Deacon Magi, right? So just kind of go to the opposite direction. Just stay away from his pathway, then he won't hit you. So these you'll come across a lot of these. These are the left and right turns. Sometimes they'll do like a 180 or 360 loop or with that. So just kind of remember that it connects to the middle part where you come from. So here's the middle part. So if you always see me kind of look, I always kind of avoid these first for now. I usually like try to go through all the little rooms and whatnot, and then kind of explore here last before you leave back to the no outlet area, which is right here. Okay. Like I said, he's a pain in the butt, so. All right, so we're coming across a bridge. Usually bridges is also kind of like a no outlet. Sometimes they're not. So you can actually just kind of go right through it. So the prison, I forgot I opened it already. The prison door looks just like the Relic Door. It has a really good blend to the actual layout of the map. So basically, it's basically like a stone slab wall. I don't know if it's guaranteed they always have these here for a prison room. Sometimes they won't. So I would probably call it that it's not always you'll see this as a way for you to remember. But always remember that if you see like a doorway just like this with a stone slab, is usually that's the prison room. So in comparison to the actual treasure room door, which is basically the ankh wall, this is pretty much the prison. The first thing you'll see in the prison would be like this, a stone slab with 3 actual what was the perfect word for it, I don't know, like hieroglyph type look. And if you look to your right, and there is the guy. So if you remember the prison from the old one, usually it's a upside down hanging guy. So when you look to your right, you'll see a backpack, you'll see some gold, and you see the actual prisoner. And then he put death is just the beginning, which is kind of cool. I actually made a thumbnail for that, one of my episodes on there. So always remember to take a picture before you leave. A lot of times people always forget to do that. But usually when you're about to leave, you can hear this. It sounds like a ghost of this person, like he screams. It's just kind of cool. All right, and usually every once in a while, just keep checking. Just check what you need to have. So remains, photograph the treasure. So we didn't find the treasury yet. And then we're pretty much back into the start area. So we actually came from the backside. So if you guys remember that ank wall that we saw here at the beginning, this is where the treasure room is now. I mean, there's no way to kind of remember every single ank wall, but if you remember your direction of when you first start, and you already guarantee you know that you pull the treasure levers, then at least you know that if you didn't come across it toward the end of your 360 circle, then there's a chance that it's going to be where you first started because you didn't pull all the treasury levers yet. So that's why we went back here. Then the rest is easy, like gather evidence of remains. So usually if you find you actually pass, if you find a lot of these are a bit, it's just they're sitting right in front of you. There you go, and that's done. Sometimes you'll find like golden sarcophaguses. Usually, I don't know. I came across it a lot of times, and every time I open it, there's always a mummy in there. So I would say it's a guarantee you'll find one there if you don't see this right away. Yeah, whatever, dude. So yeah, so basically, that's pretty much it. I mean, we actually did a full 360. We kind of talked about what is outlets. Points of interest will be like obelisk, sorry. Sadly, we didn't have one here to kind of show you what it is. It's basically, it's a if you remember the little skinny obelisk, you know, thing, that statue that comes up on the junction. Basically what they did was they actually raised it up with a bunch of layers of floors, and then they put the obelisk right in the middle. So those are like obelisk junction that they have in here. There's actually more junctions in this stage, which usually is a confusing factor, but basically the junctions are there to help connect different sections of the rooms and whatnot. So always remember, the best way to kind of navigate, just remember the no outlet areas, and it never changes. It's basically the same thing. So like I said, just remember this one over here, remember the one with the stairs that going down, and then like I said, bridges sometimes are no outlets. So always remember that those are actually more there to kind of remember, and then you should be fine to navigate it. I mean, before, like when I first started, it was like, holy crap, you know, like where the hell am I going? Like I'm going in circles, you know, not without even noticing I'm going in circles, and it's just kind of like you know, it just basically confuses you, especially if you're trying to play it on hard or brutal. It's almost like you always pretty much gotta guarantee you know where you're going and then coming back from it. So yeah, guys, so basically that video, hopefully that video helps you guys. I try my best to explain a lot of the things that I see, and this is what I'm thinking in my head. But you know, like I said, sometimes it might give you some time, but always check the map if you do need to, because what it is like I said, if you're traveling through the map, you can actually picture, almost guarantee, what is a no outlet area, what is a dead end area, you know, stuff like that. So like I said, as long as no one goes in there, I mean, you can stare at this thing as long as you want. So we were playing them on easy, so just so we can, you know, it's easier for us to talk, you know, and then kind of show you guys, you know, the area and whatnot. So if you're playing on medium, it's just a quick thing, you know. Then of course large map is usually more bigger, but to tell you the truth, like it's actually not so bad after that, once you kind of get used to it. Then of course their higher difficulty will kind of factor in how fast you go through the map as well. So, and then again, that's another different story when it comes to equipment and whatnot, especially when they added the new transmitter right here. All right, guys, so anyways, guys, like I said, hopefully you guys I'm hoping that you guys got something out of it. Like I said, This is not a meta thing. This is how I perceive it as when I do my runs with the new maps. I know a lot of people have their own different ways of doing it. That's fine. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys and explain to you guys, this is how I actually do it. It actually works for me. Maybe it might work for you. I hope so. Like I said, these guys are here to help you out. Um, and hopefully it does. So anyways, guys, we do have more guides in our playlist, which I'll put in our description down below, some links for you guys. So if you do have a hard time in certain Magi's, um, we have some guides for you. We do have solo guides for you, which will be updated again because of the new map layout. We do have a brand new Magi, which I'm still trying to get more practice with Talgor or Talgor, whatever you want to say, his name. So right now it's I'm actually having a really good feel moving around the map. It's just trying to locate him more faster, if that makes sense. So stay tuned for a Talgor the Perilous Magi guide coming soon. So that will be out once I get more of a better feel on him, and then I'll release what I found out. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys are all enjoying the rest of your day. Hopefully you guys are being safe. As always, guys, aloha's from Hawaii. Take care, and until then, hopefully see you in the next video or the next live stream. All right, guys. Take care. See you guys.